Hello and welcome to this edition of Big Sky 35 Saturday Chat. Man, we are getting close to the national time. Uh, we counting down a couple weeks till the week my job my vacation starts. I actually have another con that I'm going to next weekend in Greensville, South Carolina for video games. Um, and I also, while I was talking today, I think I'm going to open up this and go over this a little bit. This is something a little different from Lids. This is something we've been talking about. They started this last year where they had cards, special hats, special cards. There's a couple of things I don't like about it. They're calling it this year drops. Last year was just available stores, and the hats were limited on what teams, and there were a lot of teams that were in your area. So my Lids here in North Carolina was the Braves. I was hoping they would have Orioles, but they didn't. It was the Braves, Yankees, Dodgers. I think we're the only three, and it's with Mitchell Ness, which is a brand name hat company. They've been around a while. I'm trying to remember. I'm almost positive they were around back when I was working for Champ Sports, around 30 years ago now. So I think they've been around a while. They make a lot of nicer snapbacks. A lot of stuff that for to match your clothing, it might not be team colors exactly, stuff like that. They get a lot of player stuff, and as well as team colors. So what they did was this year they're calling it the Player Chase Series 2. So they not only made the hats are specialty hats. You get 3 hats in it. It's $250. I'm going to be very upfront. It's expensive. But hats now, this hat I have on my head was $50. So you just take the hats. You do only get 3 cards, and there's a chance to go the 26 All-Star Game, the 26 World Series, meet a player. They got all kinds of different things you can win. The hats are numbered. I think the hats are numbered to 99 and 4. They're not very high numbered, and they're exclusive artist hats. They're signed hats. So there's a lot of things to win in these boxes, and they're straight up mystery boxes. So I just thought I'd buy it as something different. It had me very interested from the beginning. As a guy that collects hats, I haven't got any hats in a while. I haven't liked any of them. I did like the Memorial Day hat, but if you don't get on and buy the hats as soon as they come out, the specialty hats, they're tough to find, especially in my big head 758s. Sometimes once they're gone, they're gone. It's not like the team, the regular team colors. Even the alternate team colors can be tough. This hat's almost impossible to find now, even though they're still wearing it. So yeah, that the hat collecting, like I said, I managed Champ Sports a lifetime ago. It feels like now. So that's when I got into getting hats and shoes and jerseys and all the other expensive stuff that doesn't have cards. But not so much jerseys, but hats. And hats then, you could get hats, I think, were $24.99 when I was working at Champ. So they've doubled in price in 30 years. It's hard for me to say that 30 years, but that's when it was. So I was at 25-ish, so I'm 53 now. So I started there when I was 20, 3-ish, 24. Trying to find a good way to cut into this. It's kind of heavy box for being just 3 hats. And I think it's really overdone packaging. But we'll see. I'm interested to see how the hats are individually packaged. They had 3 of them up on the table. As soon as the supervisor saw me, or manager saw me looking at them, he kept running over and asked me. And what the thing is, so like what I was saying about drops, I have a lid. These are at the lids, not the hat store, but the locker room store. The bigger ones with the clothes and all the other stuff in it. I have one here in Winston-Salem, but they did not get these. The one in Greensboro did. The Greensboro store is nicer, but all of them do good business. So I would find it hard to believe that one does that much more business than the other. Oh, look at that. It's got a little latch on the front with a magnet. No, I just pulled out. I was like, what the hell? Does it have a magnet? Nah. But I did have something. Ooh! I saw something. That one of the hats that I really liked. Because I don't like a lot of flashy stuff on my hats, and I'll go ahead and show it to you since I've seen it. And they're not going to be fitted; they're going to be snapbacks. But man, I saw this one. And I just want to thank the guys there. They're really nice. The guy subscribed to my channel because he wanted me to open it in there. And I was like, man, I got a channel. I kind of want to open this because, yeah, I haven't heard anybody really talk about this in our community. But man, look at this. Jackie Robinson. Yeah, I got the Brooklyn Dodgers hat. It's got the 42. So not too busy. These are hats I probably won't wear. I'm probably going to order some covers for these because of just what they are. And my bulbous head will make these stretch too. So I really like these. These are something that I probably just collect and put with some of my other stuff like championship hats and things like that I have. So right off the bat, love that hat. That's a keeper. And these hats in the hat world, like I told the guy, if I saw something I didn't like, easy to sell. To flip. He goes, yeah, to flip. And I go, yeah, I'm not much on reselling, but I will. I've been reselling here lately. I'm killing it this month on my Sport Lots. I know Sport Lots is kind of an afterthought in the cool guy community. I even heard one of the channels make a little backhanded smack, like the car community is going to go to selling on Sport Lots. I don't see where a problem is on that. It's just like, are you too cool to go through the dollar boxes at the shows? And guess what? Sport Lots does have big cards. I buy them all the time. I sell them on air. It's just another selling place and an additional one. And people cross-platform their cards. It's easy to do. And they don't ask for much on there. I don't try to shill. I feel like I'm always trying to defend myself on that. I got to do something like this light here that's showing in my Virginia stadium picture. I got to do something about that. Still working on my layout here. Somebody said that my other light was washing me out a little bit. So trying a new light, a different light. Of course, it's a ring light with different lights in it. So I'm trying something a little different today, trying not to wash me out. I didn't work. Went into work today a little bit longer than I thought, and I had on my mind to go over because where I work at, I think I drove 15 minutes to the mall. And it's a big mall. It just doesn't have much. It's a city mall. It's an urban mall, what we used to call it, Champ Sports. So it doesn't have a lot of stuff in it. It has some good stuff, but And it's got your all the girl stores and shopping stores. But for me, I one of the game stores closed that I liked in there, so I went to GameStop. Just not much. In the third floor, their air conditioning broke. I don't know. It was sweaty up there. What I wanted to talk about today was like, again, I know another subject I harp on a lot is like, why do we listen to people? What gives them the criteria to know more than you? Because I feel like the biggest part of learning in this job, learning in this hobby, is our exploration in this hobby. Part of the fun is learning how to do things. And like, yes, you might ask somebody for a path forward or some techniques or something. But I don't know if you need to be in a hobby for 50 years or run a magazine to have all the knowledge, or been doing card shows for how knows how long. That might make you a little sour to some things, right? I think knowledge is really in our hobby is kind of overplayed. Come on, you have a channel, it doesn't make you anywhere now. There's people out there that don't have channels that probably, because here's my thing. I love video games. So when somebody might talk about this game, right? Sega Genesis came out in, this card 1999, whatever, 1989, excuse me, 90, whatever. They might talk, oh, this one's got the first ones, what type of box? Was it the black box originals or something else? There's knowledge to that. When I hold this card, I can't say, oh, this is made out of a certain paper. I can, but that doesn't add anything to what we're collecting this for, right? Oh, this is, they added this to the Celebration box this year. They took away Opening Day and Big League and all the other kiddie ones, which is a shame. But that's what they did. And that's about all. That's about it. It is some knowledge to that. But I don't think any one person has all the knowledge for what they've done, and you'll be surprised. And we don't give enough other people credit for what they know. And it seems like, if they have a big channel, it's like, oh, they automatically are know more than everybody else. No, I just think they've hit the algorithm right, or they spent money on certain cards that people want to see, or the news, the daily news ones. The people that are on the grind seem to do very, very well right now, or for whatever reason, and more power to them. I know I come up short on half-assing. Like, I used to have intros, and I used to do, and I didn't. I was like, why am I doing all this? Why am I pouring all this time into it to get a handful more subscribers? And people want to hear what I have to say, or look at the cards I have, or listen to how look what I'm doing. I extend how I collect, right? Because I love the sport. I keep saying I collect cards because I love the sport. And it's hard for me to not understand, to understand the people that don't love the sport, but the collect for the history of the sport. Man, that to me, it's really hard for me to get my head around. I understand it to a certain point, but it's still hard for me to get my head around it. The next hat. Let's see the next hat. Woo! Oh, got hyper. I don't know if this is one I'll keep or not. If somebody, I collect Ichiro, let him know. This is the Ichiro hat. And these are numbered to something. I don't know if it says it on here or what. Pro Pitch Fit. Player Chase. It does have the Player Chase in there. So the inside, Mariners. I saw it. I thought I had Griffey. I was like, ooh, because I know Griffey's in this chase as well. Um, and I know Frank Thomas, Cal Ripken, uh, Clemente. I've seen Judge Jeter. There's some other like newer names. Somebody was saying that the hats. I don't know if the hats are on it. I have to go look because I mean I doubt that Jackie Robinson was signed before. You know what I'm saying? So that was my thing. So I've watched a couple of things. We always come to the National, and you see the same talking heads talking about the same things, and and I kind of miss the fun of the National. What the National is about for people instead of like what it's supposed to. It's almost like we talk about what it's supposed to be instead of what it is to you. Of course, a lot of people. I mean, this is a good time to actually see your friends and not spend time uh, talking on the interwebs with them, and actually get to know them on more than a baseball knowledge, right? So my third hat, big box for. So it's Phillies, Roy Halladay, another facsimile. Big Doc Holliday. Nice card on the side. So, kind of for me on this box, one hat out of two. The other one would probably be a gift. I let the boys fight over it. I don't know yet what I'll do with Roy Halladay. I know my man Ed loves him. Most Philly fans do. I'm looking for so the pack of cards is in the back. Really big box for. So here is the scratch and win card. I did have a coin up here at one point. I have to find it or go get one. And here is my pack of three. And it can't have autos and numbered cards. Before, you couldn't even tell it was Mitchell Ness. You had to really hunt down what it was, and it was like different. Another set of cards like Topps Archives. I'm getting tired of the reusing, the rehashing. What it should have done was don't make the sets of the 582 Montgomery come up in the Brooklyn series or whatever. They start using some of those because they're actually pretty good stuff they didn't use in the past. So I think I did have a nice rookie on the back. So I got Lawrence Butler. I do have a gold or orange to 50. So my first card is Lawrence Butler, outstanding player for the Athletics. Even though it just seems like they are butting heads all the time. I think that'll be a steal for somebody in the long run. I did, and this is I got a nice rookie here for the Dodgers, Roki Sasaki. So that's a good rookie card there. I'll probably send that out to get graded. And I do like this set. Again, and it does seem to have a little, it's different. I like that. Don't keep hashing the same shit and telling me it's new. That's piss poor. And then I got Rhett Lauder rookie card for the pitcher for the Reds. So not the greatest, pitcher. I know he's okay, but pitcher cards, unless it's Skeens, I don't, But out of 50, so did hit some color. So for me, because the guy was telling me what other people got, I know like Judge and Jeter, and I can't remember who else was in there. And when he kept telling me like all the great stuff that people were pulling, I'm thinking to myself, going, that's not the way you probably want to sell this. Is to tell me that already great stuff was pulled out of stuff you already got, because that means the reasoning of what I'm going to get is going down. Like the prospect of me getting great stuff is not going to be there. But somebody let me know if Ichiro fans of anything. I might take both of these to the National, see what I could do with them there. And of course, the Jackie Robinson's going to say, I mean, that's a guy, like, I can't remember if we were talking on air after the show. Like, what cars would you buy if you hit the lottery? And, you know, I would not buy the 52 Mano. Now, Jackie, I would. I would buy a Bowman Jackie. I would like, or the Leaf Jackie. That's cards that are, when I say Grail, that's Grail. I don't even know if they're Grail if I can never afford them, right? Something drastic's got to happen in this card world for me to be able to ever afford those cards, or me just sell my whole kit and caboodle to buy that card. It's almost got to that way with me in the Satchel Paige Bowman. I should have got it when I could afford it. Now it's probably out of my reach. Again, unless I just start selling stuff to get it. And I might. You never know what you're going to do. You never know what tomorrow's going to bring. How I've talked about it, the evolution and pivoting. It seems that to be a subject as well this year. A lot of shit going on in the hobby and outside the hobby. It's making people rethink about the hobby, right? I've said it before, just like in the real world, there's starting to be a separation of the haves and have-nots. I don't think I've labeled it that way, but it is definitely a separation between who can afford the Big Daddy cards and who can basically do what I do, and I love it. I'm having so much fun picking up autos. I'll live in the middle, right? I love the middle because I have such a huge selection. I can go down, and every once in a while, I can go up and snipe something off that top. And sorry, boys, I used to run a snipe. I used to, and I'm going to talk more about that. The eBay snipe. Let me touch on that just real quick here before I go. The eBay snipe. I've had snipes. I still got one. And it's good for people like, oh, it's a bot. Dude, you're putting in your best one, your best. And the only reason you're using that is so somebody can't fish and try to get over that early. So if you put in your best bid 6 days before and you think somebody's sniping you on the third day, that's ridiculous. Now, it could be very well that somebody has a fake account and they're fishing to see where the top bids are. So that was always nice to go on there and look to see who's bidding, which I don't know if they do that anymore. I think they don't. I think Bottles said they don't. I don't have time to care. But, I used to use it, especially if I knew I was going to come over the top. Like, I want to keep the bid as low as possible for as late as possible, but I might not be around for that, and it's a card that I really want. So why not use something like that? There are auction houses that are not card related that have their own snipers on the damn thing. Back in the day, and they still have them, are the penny ones, which is a great racket. They had it on that. And you could put your top bid and it'll wait. It was their own system. But adding time now takes away that snipe. That's what's happened. Is people bitched about it that have Big Pockets card ladder, and then they bitched about it enough to eBay, because now eBay is no longer, it's a business, but they have friends in the card company, not eBay. eBay. So eBay is dealing. They pretty much have eBay and then the card part, right? It's almost like they have eBay and then they have the eBay rules for cards, which are two separate things. And I think enough people were griping about that, where now that just does away with the snipe. So if you have a snipe and everybody's sniping in the last 5 minutes or 5 seconds, those snipes are going to be eaten up, and now you know what the top bid is, and then the bidding really starts in that last, what they say, 2 hours. But what sucks is, like they were saying, it's still open to everyone when it should only be open to once it's already put a bid. So, like a lot of bidding houses, you have to put in a bid to be eligible to put in another bid in an extended time. I like that. So, I would put in a bid knowing I'm not going to win, of course, but I'm in the extended time. So Sunday night, I can sit there before I go to bed and see where I'm at. If I want to bid, not to bid, go to bid, whatever, it's there. So, I don't know. There's enough. They're the home of the middle auctions, I call them. Golden and the other ones, they're going to get the big boy. They're going to get the thousands, 100,000, cards. eBay is going to be right there with the hundreds and hundreds. They're going to have commas. And and the buy it nows. I think that's the other thing. Is like people that with the buy it nows are not selling cards as quickly, or happen to come down. I've seen a lot of my cards I've watched for years starting to come down, offering. It still drives me crazy that they offer me something and I can't counter offer with something even lower. Because once they're ready to sell and they start throwing out, lower, usually you can come down even lower and go ahead and buy it. It's not disrespectful. You're offering real money. I got told one day an offer for a trade on another site was disrespectful. I didn't understand why it was disrespectful. There was no really comps to be out there for the trade. I was actually offering 2 cards for 1 card on comic book cards that really were pennies on the dollar, and I was told I was being disrespectful. So I went and cried in the corner and told myself, stop being an asshole, and went and did better. Just be better. So, that's my 2 cents on eBay. And again, there is knowledge to be had out there. It's knowledge in everything, but in our hobby, part of the fun is learning, right? And it's not book learning. It's buying, selling. And you don't want to get, I think the biggest thing is everybody's so scared they're going to get ripped off. That is the number one question I get from people. How am I going to get ripped off? If you're mailing it through the mail, how do you know it's not going to get lost? How do you know? You don't. But sooner or later, if you want to do things, it's like going to the store. How do you know when you buy a box of Triscuits, the actual Triscuits are going to be in the box? Well, the other 50 times that I bought them, they were in there. It's not that I know. It's just that's why. I have a pretty good feeling that the 51st time I buy them, they're going to be there. But there's, ways to deal with that if it doesn't. Like I bought, I can't really get to it. So I got a PS5 Portal the other day, used. But man, everywhere else trying to sell the used one is trying to sell it for almost the damn near new price. So I got it for almost $100 less. Now, is that a red flag? Yes, it was bidding though. So I bought it on the bid, so I felt better. But I took the chance. And so far, it was a good chance. And of course, I bought off of eBay, so I have, if it doesn't work, I have time to send it back and go, hey, this is not working. Um, so there's always these things that we have to learn and do. But part of the fun of this hobby is learning it on you. Not, I'm not saying, hey, don't ask questions. Hey, because that's how I got to know people. Hey, why is this? And because it ain't nothing worse than being ignorant on a subject. To have the lack of knowledge. But let's face it, the basics of buying cards really doesn't take 50 years of knowledge, and it doesn't take somebody to ask somebody who's only doing it 2 years, what their knowledge is on it. And it could be very good knowledge, right? It could be just as good as if a guy's 50 years when it comes to this. So, that's my wonder is like, why do we keep going to certain people and don't have any trust in our own knowledge? And speaking of that, I'm going to have somebody that I feel tomorrow night. I hope he's coming on. Everything's going to change. It's tough, or we have real lives. So with incredible amount of knowledge when it comes to the rookie card, and that's Victor. I've been having tons of questions. He keeps having these videos with pretty much thought processes in them. Dustin's been doing the same with Sports Card Dad. So I have questions, and instead of writing them all down and sending them in, I could just have the guy on my channel and let's have a talk about. And I want to know what he's doing for the National. I want to know what his thoughts are on the National. He's been there quite a few times. It's home area for him. And he's like a brother, man. I mean, this guy, he's one of the first guys that reached out to me and talked to me. He's one of the first guys that me and him, when my channel got started, and I think he was getting restarted in the hobby. We talked to each other about setups, and just the hobby, life, and everything. He's just a great guy, and one of the good ones in our hobby. I think everybody's a good one, somewhere down deep inside. I don't think we don't have too many assholes, and I might be one of them. I don't know. It was if you don't know who the idiot is in the room, most likely you're the idiot. So I don't know who the idiot is, so that tells you right there. But with that being said, I'm just gonna leave it at that for tomorrow night. I'm happy I bought this. I think it's overpriced for what you get. I knew it was going to be overpriced. But if I would have hit a Frank Thomas or one of the other big hats or one of ones, and I gotta go more in depth to see what these hats are and what they, what the differences are. Like I said, there's different hats. So I might feel better in a couple of weeks after I could sell a couple of them and keep the Jackie. And who knows, might get another one. When I go back, they still have them. It was fun. I love hats. If y'all didn't know, I just love hats. And there you have it. So until tomorrow night, like, share, have your questions ready. Let's ready to have some fun with Victor. Hopefully, some of the friends will come on with me as well. Ed and Mike. Mike has been, missing in action here in the last few weeks. Hopefully, we can get him on tomorrow night. I know he's a busy man, trying to get ready. Last I heard, he told me the other day he was trying to find out what time I was leaving Sunday from the Nationals. He still hasn't booked his flight yet. I don't know if he wants me to go pick him up again, which is not out of the wrong. I know he keeps telling me he can't get off. He needs to get off Monday if that's the case. So I could drive up there, pick him up, and keep going. And but anyway, that being said, I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Like, share, tell a friend. Subscribe if you haven't. Welcome to my new subscribers. Thank you again from the guys at the guys and girls at the female women at the at Lids in Greensboro. I appreciate y'all talking with me, having a good time, and chatting with y'all. And until next time, see ya.